What's up, everybody? We are back. We got the full cast back today. Thank you for to KP for holding it down last week. We really appreciate you. You held it down like a G.
Yes, good job. It was a good episode. Good job, KP.
Appreciate you.
But we are back. I am the host of the Cabrini Kid podcast. My name is David Haywood, the champ himself. To my left, we have the lovely and always, well, maybe about 95% ready, Kadriana. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, 95 is a win, right? Hi, everyone.
And then right below her, we have Mr. Perkins to you on IG.
What's good, everybody? What's good? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Blessed to be here another day. Thank you for joining. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with us. Appreciate you.
100%. And as always, we have the call-in line here down below. You can call in to speak with one of us or all of us. We had a couple weeks back, we had our call-in cherry popped.
Yes, we did.
Got our first call-in. I actually saw him on Monday at our basketball game. So we're gonna do something special for Kyrie. But if you want to call in and talk to anybody, the number's down below. Man, we got a couple of good topics we're gonna get to today. One of which is a term that I think is probably going to be a little controversial, probably strikes a chord. But it's called body fishing. Body fishing, right? We were just talking about some events where we've had, and it's kind of similar to catfishing, but I think the difference between body fishing and catfishing is you're presenting yourself as a completely different person. Body fishing it's you, but what you is it?
Yeah. Which version?
Which version of you is it? Kadriana, tell us about a funny body fishing story.
So I've been body fished by a guy, and I've also had friends that have body fished men. So I think I told you guys the one time I went on a date and he was about 80 pounds heavier than the pictures.
80. I don't remember you saying 80.
Oh, it was about at least 80 pounds, at least. And I'm not even exaggerating. I think I'm being generous with the 80. And it just caught me off guard because he did a really good job. He posted pictures that were clearly dated, 80 pounds lighter, and then showed up completely different. And it caught me off guard. And I was upset about it. And I've had female friends who have done the same on dating apps to men. Yeah.
Have you ever seen like a friend of yours and she's not like, because I think that like guys, like if guys are on like dating apps and they get together one night or whatever and they're about to go out or whatever, and they're like, oh man, you got Tinder, oh here's my, like these are the girls I'm talking to on Tinder, blah blah blah, like they know the pictures that their guy friends are putting up, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen your female friend show you their dating profile and in the back of your mind be like, it's not you?
Yes. I have. And yes. To where they hit the angles just right. And the pictures that they posted on their app or on their social media versus the real life them was completely different women, not even the same. And, you know, there's certain ways that when we're doing our pictures, our selfies, if you hit the angles just right, like I'm not an incredibly thick woman, but I can hit the angles to make myself look thicker than I am, especially from behind. And women have perfected that. And I've had friends that have gotten so good that they've body fished men.
Oh, KP.
Oh, where is he?
Yes, sir.
Your screen is off.
This is just.
Oh, there you are. We see you. Oh, not anymore.
Here, let me see.
Do you do that, David? So when you were on dating apps, because I know you don't do that anymore, but were you doing that? Were you posting like, you know, post workout and your best angles? Did you ever slightly catfish a woman or body fish a woman?
No, and to be 100% honest with you, no, because I used to always post selfies.
Okay.
I used to take a lot of pictures. And so my dating profile was always, I guess you could say, up to date. Right. But I also would not stay on a dating app to the point where a picture became old.
Yeah.
You could say.
Yeah.
I'd be on maybe 2-3 months, make like 2 or 3 connections, and then I would delete the app and the profile. So I could, you know, feel out those options. But by the time I would download it again, I had a whole new set of, you know, pictures that I could upload. So like I said, I never would like go back and post something from like 5 years ago.
Okay. See, I'm like that. I'm like you. On my dating app, everything is recent. Like I'm talking within the oldest one is probably maybe 6 months old. Maybe. I try to keep it fresh. I post recent selfies. And then when I'm connecting with somebody, I do make a point to send them like, hey, this is today. So that way they know when I show up to that date, there's no questions. They know exactly what they're getting. Because I think that's important because I've seen people do that where they've been a little bit deceptive and then they show up to the date and they don't like the response that the other person has. And then they want to be mad at that person when no, that's not fair. If they were expecting a certain package, that's what you should bring to the date.
KP, do you feel like you've ever been? I mean, so I know you're heavy into your fitness, but do you feel like you ever have posted a picture and been different on the date than the picture?
No. No. I want to apologize to the audience. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties, but no, I've never posted a pic that didn't look like me. I feel as if me personally, I think I look better in person than I do in pictures personally. So no, I don't think any girl has ever been like, oh my God, you look different in your pic. If anything, they're like, what? Okay, let's go.
And I feel like I've gotten that too, where they're like, oh, like you don't take pictures that flatter you. And when I take the picture, I think it look good, but I'm also not taking 5 of the same pose, picking, like trying to pick which one is the best one. And it's like, oh, I'm at the dog park. Here's the picture, right? But it's enough to at least get them interested. And maybe it's because they're looking at the other stuff that you put on there, like your height and where you live and stuff like that. And then, like KP said, when you show up on a date and they're just like, oh, you have a beautiful smile. Like, you know, I don't see that. You don't see that enough in your pictures and, you know, stuff like that. So maybe as guys, we're not as concerned with it for the ones who are being honest.
Yeah.
I am concerned if, on the other hand, on the flip side, I am concerned that they're being honest. I am concerned about that. I'm not worried about my side. I am typically worried about that other side. But I've never, I mean, I think I can't even count on one hand how many dates I've gone on from a dating site. It's just not really my jam, to be honest with you.
I think I could probably count, well, for sure count on one hand, but not use all the fingers how many times I've gone on a date from a dating app based off the pictures, and she looked better than the pictures. 9 times out of 10, it's exactly what the pictures show.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then, one will sneak past the gate, and you'll show up to the date, and you're just like, "Where were you hiding that?"
Yeah. See, those are the best.
There's also a couple of times where you'll be like, "You shouldn't have been hiding."
Yeah. I love that, and I do think men more times are better looking in person, because I've only had one that was just not what he looks like at all, but the others I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Like, they just take trash pictures. Like, their pictures were good enough to match with, but they looked way better in person.
Yeah, I think that, you know, from a man's POV, of course, from a lady's POV, you guys are worried that if a guy is going to be, you know, I think the women, and I could be totally wrong, but I think women are more so not so worried about the looks comparatively to, I think they're more so like worried about the looks about comparatively to the body, and the men are more so worried about the body comparatively to the looks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? Because I think that if a man goes out on an internet date or whatever, you know, if her body is banging and she's decent, then he gonna be like, all right, cool. But if a dude is, as they say now, a medium ugly and doesn't have a nice body, a dad bod, as some women on the internet says that dad bods are in, or whatever, or, you know, whatever. I think that's what a woman looks at or prefers more so on the man. I think it's the flip side.
And I think too that women know that, like, guys, when we fill out our profile, we fill out all the information. Height, body type, occupation, what school you went to, the bio little box about me, favorite music, all those types of things. We fill all that out. A woman can put up 5 pictures, fill out her name, and that's it. And her inbox could blow up. So I think men know that we have to put a lot more into our profiles, because you may not be able to get a full picture, you know. We have to put everything in our profile because we want you to see everything about us, or at least enough to get you interested.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. In regards to the body fishing earlier, like, I'm sure other dudes know too, but ladies, we know the tricks. We know all of the tricks, ladies. It's okay to take a regular picture. It's okay. Be proud of your body. We know that if you do one of these, a dude is instantly gonna think she's fat.
What? That's like my angle. That's like
no. It's the up one, not like this. It's the up. It's the up.
Up with the 3/4 angle, 3/4 to the side.
Gosh.
Yeah. So if we know all the tricks, ladies. So, you know, please, the body fishing is not cool, fellas. The body fishing is not cool. You know, if you got a dad bod, you got a dad bod. You know, if you slim thick, yeah, if you slim thick, if you slim thick, you know what I mean? I think you should just love your body and whatever skin you're in. Whoever is gonna like it is gonna like it. Whoever doesn't won't. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So to me, in this, you know, like I said, I can't count on one hand, not even on my fingers, on how many internet dates I've gone on, maybe one or two, but I get a lot of big girls trying to holler. And I think that's low key sexy, and that in their confidence, I think it's hot. But then, you know, of course, I mean, we just can't.
Now, do you think that's wrong? Because I've had people say that that's wrong to have a weight preference. That's shallow. Do you guys find that's shallow?
No, because I think the only people who think it's shallow are the people who would be excluded by your preference. You know, I think that there are tons of women, there's tons of men who like big women, right? I have 3 brothers. 2 out of the 3 love big women. They do. Like, that's just their, like, and they will swear by that. And it's a preference thing, right? I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. But the person who likes you, who's excluded by your preference, is gonna feel some kind of way about it. You know, same thing about women who say, like, I love black men. Then all the other kind of guys are gonna be like, well, what's wrong with me?
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's the only people that you're gonna find that are gonna be upset about the preference or say it's wrong. You know, it's like you know, people will say it's body shaming, but it's not. It's saying, like, I don't like certain types. There are men who don't like skinny women.
100%. I've witnessed that. Yes. There are men who prefer their women much thicker, much curvier, and that's okay. That's their preference.
Right. And I think a lot of women, this is my perspective, I think a lot of women get caught up in having the mentality that I should be for everybody. Like, everybody should like me.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, I may have a niche, right? There's a group of guys out there that likes me, and that's who I'm gonna cater to. Instead of being like, I want all the attention from all the guys because I feel like I'm just that awesome. But there's going to be dudes out there that don't like what you have to offer, no matter what it is. So
that's true, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think where the problem comes in is, like you said, when people who think that they want to be loved by everybody, but that's just not realistic. And there's nothing that doesn't make the person wrong if you're not their preference. It's just preference is a thing. Now, do you think people steer away from their preference? So when somebody dates something that's not their preferred type, do you think it's like I'm just going to try it out? Do you think there's because I have struggled with that, because I do have a thing where I like to see some of, like,
you just want to try something different.
And I don't like that, because then it's like, where's the fine line between them just like fetishizing you, or they just want to try something different, spice it up? You know, that's where I feel like it gets in the gray area.
I feel like I don't think that if someone has a fetish for something that you present, that it's like a one-time thing, because they really like it, but it's taboo for them in their environment, right? So, you know, let's take like white women who like black guys. White women who like black guys, they may be in an environment where that's not accepted. It may be frowned upon, and I'm talking about, it could just be like in their family unit.
Yeah.
It could be in their bigger community. It could be in their state, right? But they like what they like. And so if she meets a guy And she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try something different. I've been dating white guys my whole life. I'm gonna try something different. I don't necessarily look at it as it's a fetish per se, because in all actuality, she likes black guys, but she can't indulge in that because of her environment. Same thing with guys who I don't know, guys who like feet, right? Dudes who like feet.
I love men who love feet.
Dudes who like feet are like, society has turned it into such like a taboo thing that they can't openly indulge in it. So it's kind of on the low. Like they'll match with a girl and they'll be like, "Hey, you have beautiful eyes, blah blah. Send me a picture of your feet."
Yeah.
Like on the low, but that's really what they're after. But they can't indulge in it because of the pressures they're feeling from the outside.
Yeah.
Man, first and foremost, man, I want my white girls to like everybody. I don't want my white girls to only like black dudes. I can't. If she's quote unquote,
is that weird? That make you feel weird?
Yeah, it is. It's.
Does it make you feel like a fetish? Like you're just like
No, I just don't. I don't like it. That means
you'll date any black dude.
That means that she. That means that she could potentially be had for sure.
What? No, because that's like saying no. Because I have a preference when it comes to men, but that doesn't mean every man that falls into that category has a chance.
You saying that every man that falls into that category doesn't have a chance?
No, because that's what you're saying. Like women that like black men, that doesn't mean that every black man they're gonna want.
No, not every.
You're saying that every black man got a chance.
Yeah, every black man has a chance. No. Yes. That's if you only like black men, that means that only black men have a chance.
So would you want a woman who has only dated white men? Would you feel better with that?
Yeah, I wouldn't care about that.
See, because I would look at it as at any point, she would want to go back to what is comfortable for her, what she's always done.
But see, that's why I said a lot of times and this is just from conversation, and I'm sure KP can attest to this, like as you date, the conversations that you have with women, you realize are influenced a lot by outside stuff. Men is not really like that. To an extent, but not like it is with women, right? Like women will tell you, my parents told me I cannot bring home a black guy, or her parents have instilled in her, go after these types of guys, which by explanation means don't go after anyone who doesn't fit into that mold. For those restrictions for their family, for their community, whatever, what have you, right? Like I remember being in college and one of my best friends, who's like a brother to me, he is a brother to me, is Persian. And in their community, as crazy as it is, in their community, like their daughters, you cannot date outside your race. Like you can't. But if you do, he's got to be a white guy and he's got to be like a lawyer or a doctor or something like that. If it's not that, you can't do it, right? And that's because that's the influence of their culture and their community on them. The guys could do whatever they want to do. Like the Persian guys could date whoever they want to date. They didn't have those same restrictions. And I think when you look at different cultures, it's the same way. Like the women are regarded as like kind of regarded as like the treasures of the family, and they're heavily protected. And we can always get into, who's pushed in what direction, but I think that for men, because we don't have those type of restrictions, we look at things a lot more openly. We can have a lot more freedom with who we decide we want to date. women, I feel like, are just a little bit, they're still kind of under that oppression where their father can tell them who they should and shouldn't date. Their brother is going to tell them who they should and shouldn't date. Their uncles, the people in their school, their friend group, whatever the case is, and they're going to kind of listen. Like, it's just kind of how it is. And still, at this point, that's like one thing I feel like women haven't shaken is how to get from under that type of control.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen that firsthand. That is very true. Where the family, and it stays in the back of your head. And when you're dating, like you try to ignore it, especially you get older. Like that's just old school mentality, but it's still there subconsciously. And because there's almost like you feel guilty or it feels wrong when you're trying to step outside of the norm of what you're supposed to date or what your family's kind of.
But that makes it more exciting, don't it?
It does. It does. I swear. I love the ones that are completely taboo against whatever I was raised. I love it. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, I've definitely popped a few black eye cherries in my day.
Now, do you think it was were you guys dating or was it just sex? Because that's another thing. Some people just want to try it because, we hear girls, we talk. We have this thing where everybody that's dated a certain race or something, we talk about it. And
yeah. So it's been both. It's been both. There's this one time in band camp.
I love when he does.
That's when you know it's story time.
The stories will be good.
There's this one time in band camp where, so I knew this friend of a friend, right? And she was super, super cute. And I used to always flirt with her. And she would never, flirt back or whatever. A few years later, I saw her again. And the first time I saw her in band camp, I was a little lanky, and then when she saw me a couple years later, I was a little bit more, whatever. And she walked up to me and she said, "I need to tell you something." I said, "Talk to me."
Tell me something, girl.
Yeah. And she said, "I've always wanted to fuck you." And I said, "You don't like black dudes." And she's like, "But I want to with you." And I said, "Me?" I said, "Me?" And so we flirted or whatever. And then a couple days later, she hit me and said, "What's up?" I was like, "Oh, you was for real." I was like, "You was for real?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm for real." And long story short, it happened at band camp. And she didn't think that experience was for real. Like that experience at band camp was for real. So then a couple of days later, she came. We saw each other at the cabin again, and we went for another couple rounds in the cabin. And after that, I tried to go back to the well before band camp was over, but she was like, that was it. So yeah, a part of me was cool, but a part of me was just like, damn, I wanted to keep doing it before band camp was over.
Wow, so she hit it and quit it.
Yeah, she hit it and quit it for sure. For sure. Yeah, I told you, like, it was one of those in the shower scenes. Like,
I knew you had to get that one.
yeah, no. It sucked. It sucked. But I was like, I felt used. You know, I felt used. But no, I think that is, you know, I think for those that love black men or love white men, you know, if like, I think in my experiences in life, you know, I had a lot of fun in college, and if you guys know from prior episodes, like I love a good challenge. Like a girl told me that she was a lesbian, and I was like, I had to have it. And it took me a while, but I got it once. And, you know, and I was like, so I think it's fun when, you know, someone says that they only do this or they only do that. It's fun to get them off their pivot a little bit, or to be someone's first, you know. But like for the most part, you know, I don't really care if, you know, if they have a preference or not. I like who I like, and if they like me, then great.
If they're giving you a shot, you in the game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You're giving me a shot. You like something.
Yeah, something.
You like something about me. I'm in there for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to. I mean, I know how to play my position if need be. So I know how to play my position.
See, I don't understand the race preference. That one I don't really understand, because I think there's good looking in every race. I've never really just singled out one race and only dated that. If I like you, I like you.
Hey.
Have you ever dated a black man?
He was half. Well, okay. He was half, and he was raised by his white mother. So there's a difference, I think, a little bit when it comes to that. But
I know people who say that all the time.
I do think there's a difference.
There's something to be said for it, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I dated a mixed guy.
But only one.
Only one.
And so since him, no other black guys have fallen into your realm of possibility?
So I had one, and we were talking, and then I think I told you guys about this, and then he left the country.
The old one?
Huh?
The old one?
No, he's a couple years older than me. He's about your age. Yeah, and I liked him, but then he played me, left the country, and that was that one. But yeah, I've dated all kinds. I've dated Asian men, white men, Hispanic men, Middle Eastern. I don't really.
Yeah.
But you don't. Yeah. But you feel like you don't have a preference at all. Like if you could build your perfect man.
Okay. I can't put a race to him.
What skin color would he be?
I can't put a race to him because I like.
What skin color would he be? Your skin color? Would he be my color? Would he be KP color?
My perfect man. I don't know. I don't know. Because I can't just say like, oh, he would. I can't see a color with my perfect man. I see like other things.
I mean, I agree with her.
I don't have a specific color.
I mean, I'll let her off the hook here. I agree with her.
No, because I can't. It's just because I fall for like conversation and physical attributes and personality and stuff, and that can come in any color. I have to be mentally stimulated in order for me to even connect with a man. So it's colorless.
So when was the last time a man got you out of that?
To where he was just good looking?
Yeah.
The half black, half white guy. He was physically, he is a walking, just perfect specimen of a man, but he, conversation wise, there wasn't a lot going on. But he looked good. He looked real good.
Like, what does that mean conversation wise? Because don't you think, and again, I'm not combating like what you're saying, but don't you think that the conversation goes both ways?
Yeah, it does. So with him, he was so used to leading with his looks and his body because he's a gym guy. He's got a phenomenal body. But then when you try to have any conversation, it was like he would just freeze. And the only things that he could talk about were his work life or the gym. Like nothing else, nothing in between. That was all he had. And so you try to talk about anything, like any kind of deep emotional conversation, he just was glassing over. It was just not his thing. But physically, he's beautiful. He's a beautiful man. I hope it's not because I know he'll know who he is. He'll know. Because I told him that was actually when it didn't work out. And yeah, I told him I felt like the physical connection was there, but the emotional, it was just not. It wasn't there.
KP, when do you feel like you stopped, or if you haven't, but when do you feel like you stopped caring as much about the physical and more about the intangible?
Oh man. I could really start podding right now, but
no, we don't pander. We don't pander.
No, it would be the opposite way. I'm gonna actually say how I feel in this. I think I've cared more so about the intangibles. I would say probably more so the intangibles. I would say probably the last 5 to 6 years, I would say. Now, do I care about the physicality? 1,000%. Like, so remember, and this is no BS. As I said last episode or 2 or 3 episodes ago, I know that people who are watching this.
Disclaimer, do not take it personally.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Everyone knows who you are. You know who you are. I think that people think that I'm this fuck boy, this fuck boy who's out here just slanging dick, I guess. Right? Okay. Do I talk like
disrespecting women?
I'm having sex. Yeah, I'm having sex with all these different girls. There's so many girls that's running in and out of this loft here. Do I talk like that? I'm podding. Like I said a couple episodes ago, I go into every interaction with with thinking that this could be potentially a girlfriend or dating, so on and so forth. But then there gets to with some women, there gets a fork in the road where they slide into this category where it's I'm probably just gonna smack this or have sex with this problem, like this one. And there's others where you go the other way and you go down that potential dating road, right? So, it just really depends on the situation. But I think the last 5 or so years, I've been really caring about like reciprocation and someone showing me the same things that I'm showing them, comparatively to that girl is hot, or I just want to F that girl, so on and so forth. Now I'm still going to be a gentleman, but I still want to F you.
Respectfully.
I mean, yeah, respectfully. So, I mean, I'm still going to be a gentleman. That's not going to change. No woman out there who's ever dealt with me can ever say that I was a D-head to them. None. They will say, if anything, they say, "Oh my God, Keenan, I can't believe you said that on the podcast. That is not who I thought you were. Oh my God." What? Shut up. I am single, living the life. Damn, I'm on my phone. I can't even read it. Does it say LOL?
No, BZZ put a train.
Shoot.
Train
I don't even know what that means.
Felix said facts, never shallow. These are all old. I don't know why we missed these. Felix said preference. I definitely preference. I'm definitely not into them. I'm good, but heard they give good and etc. But I'm good. I'm assuming he's talking about big.
Yeah, big girls aren't known for giving good sloppy time, boy. Woo! I'm telling you.
It's because people that want a certain type doesn't want them. Yeah, we talked about that for sure. Shout out to Bay Geneva.
Yes.
Appreciate you for popping in again. We got JoJo.
Why are we not seeing these pop up?
Let's see. JoJo said KP that good. That Sonic was slapping. JoJo said women are the treasure.
Jordan, I gotta have one every Wednesday. Jordan, I gotta have one every Wednesday.
We're gonna put a pin in this. Jordan said women are the treasure. She said, I would never say I only date black men, but I prefer black men.
Felix, my guy. Felix, I've been getting a lot of.
He said she smashed you. The Bandcamp girl.
Yeah, Bandcamp girl smashed me. Hey, Felix, that shit was good. I ain't gonna hold you.
So Jordan said that women are the treasure. And I'm gonna present a counterpoint to this because I think that men are the treasure. If we're saying treasure and prize interchangeably, and the reason I say that is because I was actually thinking about this the other day. The ratio of men to women in the world is like, let's say it's 7-1. 7 women for every man. Now, take out the men who don't like women. Mm-hmm. Their 7 get dispersed amongst the population. The men who are in prison for life or on death row, they're not going to get their 7. Their 7 is dispersed. Men who are no longer with us or have been murdered, killed, died, heart attack, whatever, their 7 are dispersed. It's closer probably to like 15-1. 15-1. 15 women for every eligible man. That's crazy.
And we're all looking for ones 6 feet and higher. So the ones that are under that, they don't get their 7 either. Or 15.
Geneva said, are you saying I'm not the treasure? No, you are the treasure. You're the prize, babe.
You're the prize,
babe. You're the prize.
Oh, shit.
No, but
so you guys think because you're rare camaraderie, you're rare that you're the treasure because there's more of us than you?
I mean, if those 15 women say you know what? We're gonna exclude all the men under 6 feet. If I was single and KP is single, and we're excluding all the men under 6 feet, it just went from 15-1 to 30-1. Those are crazy numbers. 30 women for every guy.
Yeah,
I like those odds.
I'm not gonna argue because I think you're onto something, because I see it even dating at my age. I do think there is a lot of truth to that.
So I think I agree and I don't. So when I say I do agree, because of course I'm a man and I think that I'm the prize as well. As the woman, she should be considered the treasure or the prize. But I also think on the flip side, as David put the stats out, I think in the dating landscape, this may be a controversial topic, but I think it's harder for women to find what they are looking for comparatively to what men are looking for in a relationship. So a woman can get treated very, very well by a man and still be like, you're not what I want, but then go to another dude who's not that same preference and get treated bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's harder for women to, most women, I mean, I'm sorry to generalize, but from what I hear, most women, they want the white picket fence, they want the family, they want the kid, they want the house. Most men, okay, I won't say most men, some men don't, in the dating landscape, the singledom world, aren't necessarily going for that or wanting that. Not all men, not some men, but I'm saying more so than others. A woman is going to more than likely have to settle comparatively before what she wants, because those standards are so high. Because most men won't be able to meet most women's standards when you break it down at the end of the day. But most women can meet most men's standards, because we don't need 60,000 things for a woman to do to make us happy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
A woman wants someone to do this, to do point A, point B, point Z. But as soon as you do this, as soon as you zig and they want to zag, then it's a totally different. Then it's a different story. You're not my person. Well, I guarantee you, if you go to other dude down the road, he ain't gonna go for that shit either after a certain amount of time. You know what I mean? So, I mean, sometimes for me, I think, again, I'm not saying that women have to settle. I'm not saying that men have to settle, because I think at some point, if we don't want to be alone, we all have to some degree, compromise. Yeah, compromise is better. Compromise on some things that we should. Some things are not always a battle in most relationships. Like, some things should, in my opinion, I'm a pick and choose my battles in relationships. I'm not gonna fight over something that I feel like is trivial. If it's something that bothers you, then we can talk about it and we can move on. But I'm not gonna do the back and forth. Now, if it's something that I feel very strongly about, then yes, we're gonna have a battle over it. But I think it's harder for women, or it's easier for women. No, I'm sorry, harder for women to find that dude who checks all the boxes, or who checks the majority of the boxes, because sometimes that dude is right in front of them and they are discounting the dude that's right in front of them to look for this other dude, when that other dude that they meet, guaranteed he's not probably going to check those boxes, or he's going to treat them a certain way. They're going to end up breaking up, and then I don't know. That's from my experience.
Do you feel like what part, and I was actually just having this conversation today with somebody else about the part that social media plays into that. in the sense that social media for some people, it's not everybody, but social media for women portrays like get a man like this.
Yeah.
Social media portrays for men get a woman that looks like this. And it's pushed on your algorithm. So a lot of guys will be like, I want a woman that looks like this.
See, okay, that's the thing though.
Back, once again, we're not taught, like, if you're a doctor, but you're not attractive, we don't care.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. You know, that's just nature.
So here's the thing though. I think that as an adult, and I think maturity, or being emotionally intelligent, me as a man, based on what you just said, that algorithm thing, I may want something, but I know what I need. And I think that's a big difference. I think that's a huge difference. Yeah, I may want a baddie or whatever, or someone who I think is gorgeous or a 10. I may want that, but in my heart, I know I need a 7.
Your lifestyle dictates you need.
I need a 7. I need a 7, but I may want a 10. I think every dude wants a 10 to some degree, but I need in my life a 7.
You think that comes with maturity? Because I do think that you've reached that point because you are older and you have had experience in the dating world. But David, I do think that social media plays a huge role and giving people this weird misconception of relationships and even the type of people they want. And it's true because your algorithms will put whatever you show interest in, that's what you're going to see 1,000 times over. So if you're always seeing baddies, that's what you're going to see that all the time. And then that's what you're going to want. But is that realistic? No, probably not. Most women, even men, well, I'll speak for women. Most women don't look the way that they look on social media in real life.
Right.
It's just
right.
We post the best pictures of ourselves, the best lighting, the best angles, filters, Photoshop, whatever. So you're not really going to get these baddies. And I think even for myself as a woman, it has done that because I see so many women in these videos of, oh, look, I got this guy, he just catered to me, he did all this. And I see these young girls in the comment, I want that life. And I'm just like, that life comes with a price. These women these guys aren't just throwing lavish things at women. That's just not realistic for regular men. But
they're cheating, or they're just bagging and tagging them.
Right.
Simple as that.
They're knocking them down for a weekend and then
that's it. And the internet has made that cool for women to
get flew out,
you know. Oh, my dude took me to Nobu. Oh, yeah, he just took another girl to Nobu 2 weeks ago, boo. So, like, come on now, let's get serious. Like, a rich dude gonna cheat, a broke dude gonna cheat, a rich dude gonna play you, a broke dude is gonna play you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, no one is safe out here. No one.
And it also gives people this artificial sense of options. Just because they'll post something and a couple people like it, and then they think, oh, I'm that girl or I'm that guy. And then, like you said, there's nice guys that are not even getting a chance because they're just not good enough. But
and I know we've kind of touched on this earlier too, but because of social media, you know, like if this was 20, 30 years ago and there was a fine girl that lived on your block, the only people that knew was the people that lived on your block, maybe the next block, and the people at your school. That was it. Now, that same girl can post on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Now she's got dudes offering to fly her out to Dubai for a week and blah, 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 because of how she looks. So in her mind, she's thinking, like you said, I'm that girl. This is what I'm being offered, so this is what I can get. Mm-hmm. Now, the dude that liked her, that lived on her block, he don't stand a chance because now her reach is expanded. And it doesn't mean that the guy that lived on her block wasn't going to treat her right, but because she sees other girls getting flown out, because she sees the lifestyle that other types of women are leading, she's like, well, I don't want to settle for a dude that I grew up on the same block with. I'm trying to be like the Kardashians. I'm trying to go over there, right? And he said, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to the hills for the weekend." She want to go experience what that's like, and she's in her mind, I'm not gonna get there with the dude that I grew up with on the same block. Natalie says, if they all cheat, better to be with no dude.
True. At least you can cry in a good plate of food.
He would say it doesn't mean the guy on the block is also gonna treat her right.
Yeah,
he could treat her bad too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's the same same argument. You want to cry on the city bus or you want to cry in a Lamborghini? Like,
which one? Yeah, which one would you rather cry in?
But I do think that's why a lot of people are single and they stay single because they think they have more options than they do. Because somebody is flexing online or giving you attention online doesn't mean anything. Sometimes that's where it starts and that's where it ends. It goes nowhere, but yeah.
No, it's a cold world out here. I'm telling you. So like, I'm not necessarily dudes it's the women too. You know, women also think that they have multiple options and they talk to multiple dudes on the low. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, and I know everyone has heard this before. Every female to some degree is entertaining somebody. In a DM,
right,
on text.
You're not the first dude that thought she was cute.
Yeah. Every female is. There's no female that's sitting, going from work to home, reading a book, going to bed, going to the gym every single day, and they interacting with no men and not entertaining no dude. Some dude is flirting, whether it's at the gym or whether it's at the grocery store, at work. Some dude is flirting with her and she's entertaining it.
Sometimes.
Are you entertaining anyone right now?
Right now, yes. I'm not even gonna lie. Yes. But there has been periods, long periods, where I was going to the gym, working, going home. Nobody. But I did that. That was intentional because I was trying to work on myself. But
the work on yourself, huh?
No, I really
I don't go nowhere. That's when you know pregnant.
That's happened. But no, I mean, I would say generally, yes, you are correct. Most of the time we are entertaining somebody.
For sure.
That's because you're booed up. Geneva, you got a man.
And Geneva probably gives off a little bit of RBF too.
Oh yeah, Geneva for sure. For sure.
I don't think ones though. The women who have that are the sweetest.
I don't even think I've ever seen Geneva smile before. I can't wait till the next thing that she says next. I want to get her.
She's on there.
I know she's like this.
No, every woman is.
Everyone, yeah, I said every woman.
Every single woman is.
I said every woman, not just I said in relationships too. Every woman. So you're right. I did say that. And I'm not saying that, even though that's noble of David to actually admit that, because that doesn't mean that you are taking on someone, you're taking heed to what so and so has said, but somebody somewhere is flirting with you.
I expect it.
You would hope so. You would hope so.
I know that I'm not the only dude that thinks that she's attractive.
Yeah.
So I expect it. I expect a dude at the gas station to be like, "Can I get out and pump that for you?" I expect it. They come with the territory, right? Like you'll see. I remember seeing a post online on Instagram or Facebook, and it said, "Dating someone who's attractive is not for an insecure person."
It's not.
It's not.
And I'm not insecure. I know she's attractive. Like we was just talking about before, like Kadriana, you talking about body, like I know that she's attractive. I know that dudes get at her on a regular basis, whether she admit it or not. I expect that it comes with the territory, but I'm also not an insecure person.
So, but how do you handle as a man? How do you handle the female who always think you got B's when you don't have B's?
Because I also feel like she's secure enough to know that we're not together out of necessity, right? We chose. And I think that when you're with someone who understands, like, I chose you, is very different than I'm with you because you were the best option I had at the time. And I posted that on my Facebook a long time ago, and I feel like I had some really good comments, and I got a lot of flack too because of the way I posted it. It was, now here she go, because he knows he's a treasure too. I am, babe. Thanks. But I think that when you're with someone who you know has other options, but that person chooses you, that adds to your security. If you're not secure in the fact that that person chose you, knowing they could be in 100 different other situations, and you're not sure why that person chose you, but you just happy you with them, that's bad.
Yeah.
Right. That's a bad mentality. That's a bad headspace to be in.
That's when you get the jealous partners and the insecurity.
Yeah, and the controlling, like who you talking to, who you texting, blah, 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 blah. Like that's when you get that. And I think that with age, because I wasn't always like that, but with age came comfortability. I became comfortable in myself. Me and KP have joked around about, certain physical attributes, but when you get to a certain point in your life and you realize that you present certain things, at least on the outside, you have a mentality of take it or leave it, right? But I know that you're not going to find this somewhere else because it's going to be, I'm already few and far between.
Yeah, that's how I feel, man.
That's how I feel too.
You may find another 6'6" professional athlete somewhere else. You might, but good luck, And so that's just on the outside, but the inside stuff counts too. Somebody who's genuine, who's courteous, who looks out for you, who wants the best for you, who tries not only for you but for himself. All that stuff can't be overlooked either. And so to answer KP's question, like, how do you deal with it? Is like, there could be 100 dudes in her inbox right now, but I'm comfortable in the fact that I know that I believe that she knows what she has and she's comfortable with that she's excited about that. Because if I was a woman in 2025 and some Saudi Arabian prince hopped in my inbox and was like, I want to fly you to Dubai because of the last bikini picture you posted, I'd probably go. I'm going. right?
Oh no!
I'm like, oh, that's just my friend Turkish Ali, blah 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 blah. I want to fly.
For sure going.
I'm probably going.
No, that's how you get snatched up. That's how these women get killed and
Snatch
left
me.
in different countries.
Snatch me.
It's worth the risk. It's worth the risk.
Hey, if I'm a female, snatch me up, Dubai Prince.
You want to get snatched in Southern Cali, or you want to get snatched in Dubai?
Southern California. There's a better chance of them finding me. Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't do the international thing.
You wouldn't let a guy take you international?
Not if I don't know him. No.
What if he was well known?
No. There's so many risks associated with that.
Man, she lying. If Bad Bunny was like, I'm gonna fly you to Dubai, she'd be on that flight in a heartbeat. He'd be like, I'm on a jet with my Calvin Kleins on. You want to come on? You'd be like,
Where?
like that Forrest Gump meme. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I have too much to lose. I got kids. I'm too old to be taking risks like that now. 23-year-old me, send me the tickets. Let's go.
She said, send me the comps.
Where are we going?
Send me the comps.
No. Ladies, don't do that. That's so dangerous. My goodness.
Is there any chats?
Like women can say everything is dangerous though?
Everything is dangerous, but you have to weigh out the risk. Going international with a man that you don't know, no, that is so. I've heard so many horror stories online about women going to Dubai for 10 stacks and then them letting camels crap on them and just awful stuff, or them getting stranded or the guys canceling their tickets home. No. Because a lot of these girls fly with no money, which is another rookie move. You never fly with no money.
Yeah, Natalie said, I would go send me anywhere.
No,
she'd be getting donkey fucked over there.
No.
Hey, patty cakes, you'll be getting camel fucked over there if you do that. No way. That's crazy. Mm-mm. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's why I said, like, I feel like women can say everything is dangerous. Like going on a first date, letting a guy come to your house and pick you up is dangerous.
No.
Meeting a guy at a bar is dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. But there's risk that we're willing to take. So like for me, meeting a guy at the bar, there's a risk, but I also take certain precautions. I drop my location to a friend. I let them know they can watch where I am and stuff like that. When you go international, that's a whole different ball game. You're dealing with new laws, customs, just a whole different ball game. It's dangerous. It's way more dangerous than just going down the street and meeting a guy for drinks. But
yeah,
so go ahead, Kate.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I was gonna talk about this because I talked about it yesterday on Facebook, and it actually kind of plays into this last point that we made. Women who chose the bear. KP,
who chose?
You know what that is?
No.
So there was, I think this was last year, where there was I don't know what you would call it, maybe a trend that asked women, if you were walking down a path in the woods and there was a fork in the road, there was a guy on one fork and a bear on the other fork, which one would you pick?
Damn, they were choosing the bear?
The women were choosing the bear.
So they were getting chosen to be killed, basically.
They were, and I think part of it was comedic. I think part of it was, and satire. Yeah. But there also part of it was out of a fear of, I don't know what the guy's going to do. Mm-hmm. You don't know what the bear's going to do, but you already know the bear's a wild animal. But because Kadriana is the only woman on the cast, speak to that a little bit about why women chose the bear.
So I saw that trend too. A lot of women were saying that it was basically insinuating that men are just dangerous. They're just inherently dangerous in any capacity, and it's safer to go down the path with the bear because these women were saying they have more of a chance of not getting harmed and being safe with the bear versus the man. That trend, I saw where they were going with it, but that's an extreme case because that's to say that every man is a violent, dangerous being. And we all know that that's not true. So that's why I think that was an exaggerated example that these women used. But a lot of women actually were serious about they would choose the bear. Like there were tons of like influencers and these like podcasters that were saying like, oh no, the bear is the safer option. And then to counteract, recently, there was a man who said he would rather share his feelings with a tree instead of a woman. And so it was interesting because a lot of women were like, that was stupid, that's dumb. But they kind of, fed into that guy's point about he didn't feel comfortable telling anything emotional to a woman. He'd rather tell a tree. So,
man, I low-key agree with I low-key agree with Buddy.
You would rather tell a tree your feelings than a woman?
No, I would rather tell my feelings to a woman, but I agree with his premise that the tree is going to pay more attention and care more than the woman will.
Not shame him as much, probably. Because that's what the guys are saying. The guys are saying that they don't feel safe expressing their emotions with women because they'll get gaslit or the woman will be dismissive or they'll just get called a pussy for having feelings.
Exactly.
You even say, what does the man look like? Ragged? Is he looking?
Yeah, see, I'm definitely sharing my feelings with the tree for sure. But
oh my God. Why? Elaborate, because I'm curious. Why do you guys feel that you can't express yourself with us?
Because I think that if you, as a man, if you tell a woman something extremely personal, well, let me put it this way. If you've ever told a woman something that was extremely personal that she then later brought back up in an inappropriate manner, you would understand.
Yep.
And it could be anything from I have really bad credit to I have a criminal history to
and that's why your credit bad. You broke, bitch.
I need $20 for gas. Like it could be any of them things that has been used against you. You would understand why guys would be like, "Nah, I don't want to tell a woman that."
And women are good for that. Women are good for throwing shit back up in a man's face to demasculate them.
At your worst time. At your lowest moment. And she'll be like, and don't forget, I remember you pissed in the bed the other night. Like
in front of your friends too. Just
everybody gonna know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think a woman cares. I don't think a woman really truly cares how a man feels. They may put up with it, but I don't think they may listen, but I don't think they are comprehending. I don't think they're listening to understand. I think they're just listening. But we are expected to listen, to reiterate, to comprehend. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. And then we're supposed to be comforting. But then as soon as we want those same things in return, is that we're a B, or we're being dramatic, or we're being zesty, or grow some, or some shit like that.
Stand up, be a man. What you crying for?
Yeah.
I will say, I I have thrown things back at a man before.
See,
so
that's what we're talking. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I have, and thank goodness for self-awareness and therapy. Because I had to learn that. I had to learn that in the last like 5 years that emotions are genderless. So if I expect a guy to be open to hearing my emotions and my feelings, I have to give the same respect, because just because it's a guy doesn't mean he doesn't have feelings. Doesn't mean you guys don't have emotions. So you're right. Because if a guy did that, if you guys turned it and we told you our vulnerable moments, and then in a fight you threw it at us, like we're going to our girlfriends and you guys are just narcissists and we're getting on all kinds of support groups because of it. So yes, I do think there is a double standard with that.
Natalie says, "Damn, women suck that bad. Guess you should be gay then." See, that's exactly.
Okay,
And that's
see
exactly
that?
why.
Natalie, no.
That's exactly why.
This is the tree. This is why guys choose the tree. Oh no.
Megan, shout out to Megan. She
Yes,
said, "You're not
Megan.
wrong. I've definitely done it." Megan
Yes.
has done it before too.
Yes.
I guess
I love that.
a man has cried on her pillow, and she has thrown it back in his face.
But you see that self-awareness?
That's
top tier.
That's self-awareness. That's self-awareness, Megan. But like I said, I'm glad that you said that I was right. But yeah, and Natalie, yep, that's a prime example as to why we feel the way that we feel.
And it doesn't mean that guys don't do it or shouldn't do it. It's just that if you expose those layers of yourself to the person you're with, you have to know that could be ammunition later if things go south.
Facts.
But it shouldn't. It should never.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
Because that's just foul on all levels. If you're connected and you guys have a bond, that should never come up later. But you
said not crying. Though.
See, we can't. See what I'm saying? We can't even cry. You know what I mean? See?
I mean, would you want a woman who cries all the time?
No, we didn't say.
Women do cry.
We don't cry that much. I cried probably once in front of a man. Maybe
how if they're crying during a show? We're supposed to be sensitive to that.
That's different, though. That's different. Like, we should cry together. If we watch The Notebook and you don't cry, I'm looking at you funny because you're a little too cold.
But how about if he cried and you didn't?
Oh,
okay, Megan. Okay, you got me. Okay. Well, like that's the homie. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to Megan and shout out to Natalie, the homies.
So, Kadriana, have you ever had a man cry in front of you?
Yes. I think every guy I've dated has cried in front of me. Yes.
And what was your first thought?
Well, because men don't cry that much, I was like, oh shit. Like, it kind of scared me because I was caught off guard, and it was stuff that I had done or said to them.
So you made them cry.
I was the reason that they had the tears, and it kind of shut up, baby.
She's a man eater.
But it definitely, I felt bad. Because you don't expect it. So when they cry, it catches me off guard. So I'm like, oh shit, you do like feel deeply about.
So you said something so mean, not thinking that it would affect them the way that it did, and then when it affected them that way, you said, "Oh shit."
Yes.
I cut deep.
Yes. Because I have a problem sometimes. I'm not as emotional as I think most women are. And I think it's just kind of how I was raised. And so I forget that some people are a little bit more sensitive than me. And sometimes when I get mad, it doesn't happen often, but sometimes I say things that just,
Did you go back and apologize?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I always apologize when I hurt somebody or offend somebody, especially if I was in the wrong. Yeah, I did. But
now, was your apology, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, or I'm sorry you felt that way about what I said?
No, I usually am sorry that I did what I did. And I always will say, I'm sorry that I got to that level. I'm sorry that I crossed the line. Yeah.
Would you have apologized if he didn't cry?
Yeah. If somebody tells me that I've done something to them and I feel that, and it was done maliciously, which very rarely do I go out of my way to try to hurt people. But if I do, and somebody brings it to my attention, I do apologize. I always do, because that's never my intention to walk around and hurt people. Mm-hmm. But there are times where I've had guys who have wanted me to apologize for certain things, and I refused because I felt that it was needed. It needed to be said. I didn't say it just hurt their feelings, as opposed this is making me sound bad, but I meant what I said, and they needed to hear it, and I wasn't sorry for certain things, but it's never anything crazy. Like,
Megan said, "Oh, he's crying. Sometimes I don't know how to respond, but I'm like that with women too. I'm not a big crier, so when people cry, I'm like, okay."
Yeah. Yeah. If a man cries to you, you know you cut deep, or something as deep is wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, I totally understand, because when girls cry to me, I feel uncomfortable. But and then when I've cried to a couple of females in my lifetime, and I was thinking, damn, why did I do that? Because that shit's gonna be thrown back in my face at some point or another.
Crying,
damn it, man!
Big ass baby,
crying ass little boy. Remember that time you was crying out from me? Like, come on, man! Like seriously. So like, I try not to do that shit. There's things as a man I think we try not to do, or we should not try not to do. We should never leave long voicemails on phones. We should never do that. Fellas, if you're out there, never leave long voicemails. They will keep that and throw it back at you at some point. For sure. For sure. Don't do it. Don't leave long voice texts either.
Oh, yeah. Don't.
They can keep those too.
Okay, so don't do that either, fellas, because they'll go back. Oh, remember what you said in the voice text? Let's go back to it. They'll play that shit right in front of you.
That's bad as a screenshot.
Man, don't do it, fellas. Okay.
And your voice cracking, and you on the verge of crying and shit.
Yeah, and you crying and stuff on the phone. Come back. Don't do it. If she don't, and then she gonna show it to one of her girlfriends, if not multiple of her girlfriends. Girl, look at what this dude just said. Girl, look at what
it's going in the group chat for sure.
For sure, even if it's for advice, they telling one of their girlfriends, and then every time they look at you, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this the crying ass motherfucker who's crying." Oh yeah, that was him.
Yeah, we have to be careful with that though, too, ladies, because sometimes you have that bitter friend who will always give you bad advice.
That bitter friend, and that bitter friend on the low key be wanting that.
Yes.
Terry, you got Terry checking in. T. Riley said they all definitely gonna see it. 3 out of 5 for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely telling a friend.
Megan says, "KP, you okay? This sounds personal."
I think he sent the long voicemail. I think he did.
No.
I've never cried in front of a woman. I've never sent a long voicemail. But I think maybe it's because I'm a Gemini. I'm just like quicker to end it.
Yeah.
Quicker to end it.
No, I've sent long texts, but I've never sent a long voicemail or
learn from your mistakes. I got a few long ones from you.
No, not voicemail. She's not voicemail. She's lying. Not voicemails. Not voicemails.
Knew it sounded personal.
I've sent long texts, But not long voicemails. That ain't never happened.
Terry said, then when y'all break up, one of the five always hit you up telling you everything.
Same with men. Your guy friends do the same thing. Every
I
guy
wouldn't doubt that.
Broken up with one of their friends.
Every dude, there's somebody always dirty macking.
Geneva said, nah, but you got mopey. Yeah, I get sad. I don't get mad. I don't get mad. I do get hurt, but I don't get mad. Terry said, like I always thought she was the problem, not you.
Yeah.
He said dirty macking.
Yeah, dirty macking, man. That is a thing.
Every time, yes.
There was this one time where I was back in band camp. I was talking to this girl for a minute. She left. Her friend was like, I can't believe you was even with that girl. What's up? And I was like, for real?
Oh, don't tell me you did it. No. KP. The friend.
I had to see what it was about. I had to see what it was about. I had to.
No.
I had to.
See, I have a rule. If my girlfriend as much as says somebody looks good, off limits. I don't care if they never date. If it goes nowhere, they're off limits.
Natalie said, text, I got the receipts. Terry said, niggas be like, I used to try to get him to stop because he had a good woman. I wouldn't do you like that. You too damn bad to be treated like that.
Why does that sound like every DM I've gotten from the homie? Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. He didn't know what he had. You're such a good woman. He couldn't handle you.
Have you ever circled back on the homie?
What?
See, she over here talking about me.
One time. Yes.
Wow.
One time you circled, and what happened? Nothing.
So I was dating a guy. Actually, this was like the love of my life. His friend. I met his friend, and I was with somebody, and I don't cheat. But I will not forget that when I saw this guy, I thought to myself, that is the most beautiful man I've ever seen in my life.
That's cheating.
And I thought it. I didn't act on it.
No, that's cheating.
No, it's not.
That's cheating.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's emotional cheating.
No,
it's emotional cheating, and the fact that you circle back later in life and let them clap, that's definitely cheating. But go ahead.
Anytime. So you're not allowed to see a woman and be like, oh, she's attractive. That's cheat. That's not cheating. Like I expect if I'm dating somebody, there's gonna be women that are gonna look good. That's not cheating. And I did not cheat. I waited. I broke up with his friend, and we didn't circle back for about years. It was years after that. And then he told me, oh, I always had a crush on you. And he used to like stay at our house all the time because I lived with this guy. And yeah.
Right. So imagine what he was doing in the other room.
He's playing the seed.
He played the long game because
he's definitely playing the long game for sure.
Definitely, that was.
Sometimes there's a difference between saying someone's attractive, and you just said, and this recorded.
He was the most beautiful man
I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, he was. And yes, because I remember seeing him. And he remembered what I was wearing the first day we ever met. And I remember my girlfriend was like, she even was like, oh my God. And I was just like, well, who is that? And yes.
Yeah, that's cheating.
No, it's not.
That's cheating.
Because I never acted on it. He was just eye candy for those years.
The seed was planted when he walked in the room.
No.
Yeah, for sure. You're probably thinking like, you wanted to be in his pants the first time you saw him.
You're allowed to look at people and think that they're attractive. I did not act on it. He didn't even know. He thought I didn't like him. He said,
but he shouldn't think you like him. You're
exactly,
in a relationship.
I didn't cheat
with his boy.
There was nothing. I didn't do anything wrong. I just acknowledged that he a beautiful man.
The thought was wrong.
No. So with that mindset, though, anytime you look at porn, if you're in a relationship and you look at porn and you get off, that's cheating. Because you're actually
you don't know that. You're not meeting that person.
But I didn't know him like that. I just saw him.
Did you want to have sex with him?
If you're dating a guy and you bring one of your friends to the house, in his mind, he says, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Over you. More beautiful than you, who he's in a relationship with.
But is he acting on it?
It doesn't matter if he's acting on. In his mind, he thinks this is the.
But I can't
he's
control
more beautiful than the woman I'm in a relationship with.
That's not cheating for me. If a guy says that, yeah, is it gonna hurt? Yeah, because you don't want that to happen. But
were you thinking about him when you were banging his friend?
No.
Never, not once.
Yeah, right. You were putting his friend's face on him while you were fucking riding his dick and shit.
No.
Let me go reverse cowgirl so I can really think about the
yeah. And then you spent the block, so you must have been thinking about him the whole time.
Because we had all been friends and we all hung out over these years, and so he saw that relationship was really unhealthy and it was very abusive, and he had saw that. So I think that's why I didn't feel as bad, because there was one time in particular the cops were involved. Like, this guy literally saved me. So I think we just had it was different.
I reiterate, I used to try to get him to stop because he had a good woman. I wouldn't do you like that. Too damn bad to be treated like that.
Exactly.
Hey, he played the long game, and then he smashed, and then he deuced. What happened?
Nothing came of it. Nothing.
So we had dated multiple times throughout. You know, he was like that guy that I always. That was like.
Dated or hooked up with during times of convenience?
Yeah,
no,
we
actually dated. So that was a whole like.
Were you dating him? Or was he dating you? Or were you dating each other?
We were dating each other, and then I would always break it off because, you know, he was kind of a flirt, and then
he's smashing somebody else for sure.
Get in a relationship, we'd break up with our relationships and somehow come back together. And
it was the old faithful.
I guess he was the old.
He was the old trusty.
I guess.
So you're saying in the times that you guys were not together and coming back together, he was just magically just breaking off the other girls that he was meeting and hooking up with when you guys got back together?
So it was always like in between a relationship. So whenever
in between times.
Yeah, if I was single, and there were times where he would be single, I wouldn't be single, and we didn't really talk because, you know, I respect my relationship. And then I would get single, and, you know, he was that person who always goes back around.
So you said didn't really talk. So y'all was communicate.
We didn't, because I actually had one relationship, which was this like where he didn't like it, and that's when I had cut it off that time. Yeah.
Jojo said, I'm familiar with that situation.
Yeah.
That sounds like to me like it was a situation.
Yeah, because I mean,
he was like that one, like, you know, because we were so young when we met. That's why I'm like, we were teenagers when we met. He was just that guy that, I don't know, always had.
It's still kind of. Megan said, stay away from the homies. Too much drama.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so I think depending on like what you mean by that, Megan, I think it depends. Yeah. I think it depends. And now, if you're saying you stay away from the homies, as in you don't sleep with your friends, then I think it depends. I agree with you, but then I also think it depends. Because I think you can have a homie that you can sleep with that just, it is what it is, and you guys are both cool. You know what I mean? But then again, you could, yeah, I've in band camp back in the day, there's been times when I've had homies that they were strictly friends, and it was good. It was that's all it was. We were cool. Like we would talk, we would hang out. I mean, and it would just be what it is. See, yeah.
Jojo said, I agree. You can have a platonic hookup with a bestie. See, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that one.
I don't agree with that. I think somebody is going to start liking the other person.
See, I don't know
than the other person.
I agree that does happen, but I also disagree that it can also work out.
But how do you end that? Like, because I tried the whole situationship, so I don't even know how you would do it with somebody that you're friends with, because somebody is going to catch feelings. I do not care who you are. You might not have caught feelings, but I guarantee she did.
But there's the thing, like, I can honestly say that I've had those types of interactions where I'm still cool with the females to this day, and they have they have a boyfriend, or they've had boyfriends since, things of that nature. And we'll call each other. We'll be like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing, KP? I'm doing good. I'm doing good, girl. How you doing? I'm doing good."
Does the boyfriend know?
I don't know if he knows or not.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret, KP. Most women don't just casually, consistently sleep with one guy. So whether you caught feelings or not, I promise you, if the woman keeps circling back around, or if she's staying in touch, especially when you've already been intimate, like in a casual situation, she's hoping for something more someday.
And that's what I said a couple weeks ago. Women want to win. She might tell you, I'm cool with just being friends with benefits.
She'll be the pick-me, and she will literally suffer through this to keep sleeping with you.
See, I don't agree with that.
Because at the end of the day, she's hoping that you pick her.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I don't agree.
Because in her mind, she's saying, if I tell him I don't want to sleep with you, if you're sleeping with other women, I just want you to be with me, he may not want to sleep with me and stop talking to me altogether, so I can't tell him that.
Yep.
See, but
I gotta go with what he wants to do to stay in the game.
She has to be cool.
I want to win.
Yep.
See, but if that's your friend, and that's like Jordan said, you can have that conversation that you are going to be sleeping with other people. You know that either person is going to be sleeping with other people, and if they found that other person that they decide to sleep with, and this has to end, then it has to end, and we can still go back to being friends and getting along and so on and so forth.
Jojo says, not always. I can do casual depending on the season of my life. I've been very successful at it.
But he might catch feelings. I always think one person has feelings in casual situations. One person just does. I don't believe that both of them are just casual.
Megan says, I personally can't sleep with a guy friend and then turn around months, years later, and then introduce that friend to my boyfriend as my friend.
I get that. I understand that.
Natalie says, disagree, just friends.
Yeah, once the just friend, I'll be friends with my exes, but it's a certain level of friendship. But if I have a friend group, I'm not sleeping with the homies. I refuse.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying, if you do sleep with the homies, one of the homies, what I'm saying is it's possible that you could still continue to just be homies.
Stay cool.
To stay cool. I do believe that, because I've experienced that.
And you don't think that she wants more or wanted more, and she's just going along with it because Otherwise, if she starts to get difficult or complain about it,
no, because that in that particular experience, that person, ended up meeting someone, and she's like, "Hey, I met someone," and I was like, "Oh, for real?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then we talked about it, and then she started dating so and so, and she would talk to me about that relationship, and we would nothing never changed.
And you don't think she was trying to make you jealous? You don't think she was trying to make you jealous at all? I'm just saying, I'm telling you from a woman's perspective.
I understand. Yeah, and I understand.
We do.
I understand that, but I don't think she was trying to make me jealous, because I think that she knew that how I am, and I didn't care.
See, I used to do that with my guy.
KP, did you, and to not say no names, did you smash one of the twins?
Yeah.
And y'all just kept it cool after that? Like,
Yep. Still cool to this day.
Nelly says, you sleep with the homies if he has a hotter friend.
She's podding. She's podding right now. She's podding right now. Hey, that's she's podding right now. I love that. Good job, Patty. Good job. Way to pod, Patty. Way to pod. She's definitely podding right now, because I know she wouldn't do that, but she's podding right now. But no, yeah, we're still cool to this day. So I think I definitely think it's possible, and she doesn't have any feelings for me at all.
Jojo said the worst is when you hook up with a dude and then meet his friends and he's the ugly one.
That happened to me, Jojo. I told the most beautiful man ever, and I realized I had the ugly friend.
Damn.
And he was mistreating me.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst.
You get mistreated by the ugly friend.
That's the worst. See, I'm so quote unquote like vindictive. Is that like I laugh at that? Like not that you were mistreated, but I laugh at the fact that a girl chose someone else over me, and then she ended up getting played, or she ended up getting cheated. I'm like, that's what you get. To me, I think that's what you get. That's what you get.
Me?
No, not you.
No,
but I'm
but it's like if let's say you try to like as a guy, let's say you try to get with a girl, you try to holler at her for like a year, she didn't give you no play. She start posting pictures of her with another dude. Yep. Then the pictures come down. She posts that she's pregnant, and the dude is not in the picture no more. And you be like,
"That's what you get."
I wouldn't have did you like that, baby. Like now you're a single mom.
Yeah, I would have left you after at least he was 1 or 2.
and that has happened. That happens.
Happens. Or a girl start posting
but then they try to circle back. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, how you doing? Oh, I'm good, pretty good. I saw you had a baby. Congratulations. Yeah, I did. Where's the dad? Oh, he's not in the picture anymore. Oh, that's too bad. Wish you the best.
Yeah.
So or if you try to be honest, we listed it, we don't judge on this one. That's what happened. So the guy that I had the situation with, I had chose my ex-husband because they both gave me an ultimatum. Chose my ex-husband, and
they knew about each other.
Oh, yeah, because he knew that he was my go back to in between. He knew that we had been doing that since we were teenagers. And he said, it's either me or him. And dude had flown out. I was living in Hawaii at the time. He flew out to Hawaii. And at the time, my ex-husband was like, if you see him, we're done. We're done. You need to pick. And I picked, and look how that played out. So.
Yep. See, that's what happens.
Yeah. So it definitely, I can't even laugh at it. It happens.
Now they say you can be stepdaddy Keinon.
See, no.
Jojo said, wish you the best as a banger, but listen, you want to upset a man for any reason, hit him with it. Take care.
Yep.
Not to take care, Jordan. Not to take care. Like, what? Did she just tell me to take care?
Right. With what? Is the conversation over with? Like,
see, but that's the thing though. Like, if you're trying to holler at a chick and then she ends up dating someone else and that person ends up treating her bad, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all.
I just feel a little bit sorry for her.
no,
I don't.
She made her choice. She should have chose me. You should have chose me.
You know, life happens, and we don't always pick the best options.
Jojo said, "I've had a man ignore me for hours. I hit him with the take care, instant phone call."
That's where Jordan can just have a book of stories. She has a whole bunch of stories. I'm telling you.
She got some stories that she's not even ready to tell us yet either. So
yeah,
Kadriana too. So
yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah.
Some of the stories that I've told has gotten me in a lot of trouble. And
see, I learned from you. I just
Kadriana, like, I'm not trying to burn my block up.
No.
I don't care, because guess what? The block always gets rebuilt.
The block is always hot.
The block always gets rebuilt.
Like Lil Wayne said, the block is hot.
But I think that have you Kadriana, had men who have watched this podcast that have said things to you or given you feedback on they didn't think that you were like this and that, or you seem like this and that?
Yeah, I get that a lot. Where I think I'm pretty reserved in my regular day to day, and so some of the guys that watch this podcast and they're like, "What?" Because I don't know. I don't show all my cards.
I had a female tell me that I come off like Future on here.
You do. You do. My girlfriends, like, you are the topic of conversations with some of my girlfriends that are like moms, and you give them a little spice to their life when they want.
when they're at the park pushing strollers.
Yeah, because my one girlfriend, she's just had a baby, so she's doing the mom thing, and she watched the one episode where Keinon was in the dressing rooms and all over the place, and she was just like, "Oh my god!"
It's like reading a Terry Daniels book.
I got more for you. I got more, just depending on the topic. I got more. I don't mind burning bridges, because that means that bridge wasn't very strong to begin with. So, I mean, if people are mad, I wonder how Joe Budden or Cameron. I'm telling you guys that are listening to this on Spotify, on Apple Music, or whatever, YouTube, I am unapologetically me at all times. In the words of the great philosopher Sean Carter, you either love me or leave me alone. As simple as that. Okay?
Yeah.
But I do love you.
Yeah. I think that's why we love you, because you're real. I think we need more of that. Everybody's so filtered and everything is just perfectly packaged. It's refreshing.
Well, I think that we're in a day and time of Megan says we know. We're in a day and time of people being afraid to step out on the limb and say what they really think or share their experiences. And the crazy part about it is that we all have had a lot of similar experiences.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been to college. We all know what college life is like. Talking about crazy times during college should not be taboo, because we've all had those experiences. But for some people to hear somebody say like, "Oh man, in college I ran a train and blah 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 blah," they're like, "Oh, he said what? I can't believe he did that." But it's it's experiences that a lot of people have had, so it's not foreign. It's just that a lot of people think that it's taboo. And I think a lot of people are in situations or employment situations where they can't say certain things. They can't be seen in certain lights.
I mean, I'm in that employee situation, and you see my colleagues on here in the chat. so my colleagues come and tell me I've got my colleagues who, like, when they, like, we have like things called get to know me's, and of course I say, not everyone, I'm not telling
you know who to tell.
I know who to tell that I'm on a podcast. So of course I want our this to get bigger, and I want more viewers and more subscribers and things of that nature. So of course, at work you'll get a different Keinon than you will on the podcast. But this is me. So for those that are listening, this is me. I am single. I love women. I like to. I'm not. I mean, I don't understand. So all I gotta say is that we have a good time on this podcast, and I think that the more that you listen, the more that you'll laugh and have fun. Have fun in the stories. We try to tell stories that people can relate to, men, women, all different kinds. So if in college, if I was getting head from a big chick, I was getting head from a big chick. Just like Felix said, most big girls give great head. That is known. Most dudes will tell you that bigger girls give good head. That's true. I mean, that's true. You women may not be like, oh, a skinny chick may be like, oh, well, I give good head, but most big girls are known for that. So nothing against the big girls. I love you too. So, I think we want to have fun, and we want to, for those that I am, causing a feeling, thank you. I love that you're watching. Continue to, please, every single Wednesday, continue to watch. Thank you for watching.
Because that was going to be my next thing. It's like, how do you, if it could be a woman that you was dealing with on some level, or women that you may deal with in the future that you may not have had those conversations with at this point. What would you say to them about the podcast if they said, oh, like, I see you're a part of this podcast? What would you preface it with?
I would tell them that, I'm on a podcast that I am super passionate about, that I love doing. I look forward to doing every single Wednesday. We talk about a lot of different things. We talk about relationships. We talk about, some people are in different countries. We talk about, the man and woman dynamic. And to be honest with you, if I'm probably going to say some things that you may not be very fond of. Now, if that's something that is going to bother you, or if that's something that you're not going to like, then, that's something that we could talk about. But otherwise, I'm going to continue doing it. So I'm not going to stop. And, if there's something that you don't like that I say, I will always be respectful towards you and our relationship or whatever we have. But if you got something to say, please, we can talk about it. Simple as that. Like, but yeah, it can mess up my game, I guess, to say. But then on the flip side, just like Kadriana said, there's moms with strollers out there that are like, damn, that is like, that shit is sexy.
I'm trying to get ran in the dressing room.
I'm trying to get ran in the dressing room. I'm trying to get my face pushed in the pillow. I'm trying to get fed to the couch. People don't know about getting fed to the couch, boy. They know about getting fed to the couch. When you get fed to the couch, you know, and then, you know, like, so some people, some women on the flip side, they find it very sexy and very attractive that someone is very open and honest. Stop saying what, getting fed to the couch? Jordan know what being fed to the couch means. She knows. She knows. If she hates what I'm saying, she hates what I'm saying. David knows that I say it all the time to him too. Kadriana, do you know what that means?
I think I have a visual.
Like, what's your visual? What's your visual?
Well, because I had a guy who would. Why are we talking about this? I had somebody who would say that when we would be intimate. And so I think I know what that means.
He would say, "I'm feeding you to my couch."
No, he said he was going to. And then we would do our thing. And so I think I know what that means.
Where would you do your thing at?
On the couch.
On the couch.
Oh, okay.
I feel like
He said there was like this
like
one corner he would always say, "That's your spot." And
that's like next level grimy, because that's not that's like internal language that you don't share amongst the feedees. You don't say, "I'm about to feed you to the couch."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
You would never say.
Yeah, I would never tell a girl that, "What's up, boo? I'm feeding your ass to the couch tonight."
He was weird. That guy was into some weird stuff.
Yeah, that's wild.
How long did that last?
No. Because I feel like eventually people are going to be able to timeline me. Oh, I know who she's talking about.
That's the beauty of it.
Because I've had that happen where they start to, they know.
They piece it together.
Yeah, and I've had about 2 of my exes hit me up. Was that about me? I don't. So yeah.
Nah, that's another dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another guy.
JoJo said, "I'm gonna start saying feed him to the cat."
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, but I guess. I guess.
But what Katie was saying, I do love how open we are. I love how we can just talk about whatever. And just so you all know, none of this is scripted, and these are all based on true stories.
Yeah.
None of this is made up, and I think that's what makes the 3 of us what makes this so fun.
Right.
Because everybody has a story, and
we all got stories.
We just happen to be 3 people who are not ashamed to share ours.
I got more stories to come. I got more people to piss off too.
We got stories. Yes, there's Megan said emojis.
We all know each other. Megan, Jordan, we all know each other. Yeah,
so
I don't know
dated any of them. KP.
No, they're just the homies.
But what kind of homies? Because you just said you got special homies.
What kind of homies?
They're like my sisters.
Okay.
They're like my sisters. Like my
sisters that you wouldn't cut off if you got into a new relationship.
Oh. No. Okay. I wouldn't cut Jordan or Megan off if I was in another relationship. And now if Jordan or Megan said something crazy, like I said, then I would have that conversation. But no, I wouldn't cut them off. No, they would still be a part of my life.
And do you introduce Jordan and Megan to your girls, the new girlfriends and stuff?
They're probably going to tell you that I don't really bring too many females around. I don't bring too many females around.
Okay.
So they would say no. They've probably never met anyone in my life. I'm sure they're typing in the chat. I'm sure they're typing right now. See, I told you. See, KP ain't never had a girl. See, that's what I'm saying, Jordan. Tell these people I ain't never had no girls.
Except for band camp.
Except at band camp.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. I ain't never had no girl. Like, I'm innocent.
We need to ask that couch. Talk to the couch.
Now, do you
Boy,
keep women? Do you not commit?
Jojo
KP?
said, I introduced KP to my dudes and they hate him.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder why. Is it a
They
personality?
probably think he hit it.
Probably. That's what I would think. Yeah.
Also, because I don't mean to bring it up, because Geneva always says that I do. But when she's standing next to a dude that's 6'5" with swag, of course they're not gonna like me.
Oh. Because they fry.
What was your question, Kadriana?
So when you are, because you've not had girls, it doesn't sound like you do the relationship thing that often. Why? Are you afraid of commitment? What is it?
Wait, hold on. Okay. He's brought a few around, but none serious. We know if it's just the fuck.
Even Natalie said never met them. Wow, so you're keeping it separate. So you see their men, but they never get to meet your women.
Yeah. We gotta.
Yeah.
Okay.
We keep things. See. I'm a firm believer in that. You how some women, they have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't allow certain men to meet their kids until they're ready, right? Same way.
Joseph said, we know who he feeds to the couch. And it's probably some girls watching right now that's been fed to the couch.
Yeah.
That's gonna text KP either tonight or in the morning.
Oh man,
It's over. I'm never coming over there again.
What do your girlfriends know about me? I've never met them. Yeah.
I've never seen your bedroom, KP.
Oh man! But then on the flip side, there's gonna be some girls who be like, "Damn, I kind of want to be fed to the couch." Kadriana's got some friends right now that's like doing like this.
Oh, he must have a nice couch. You must have a nice couch. Must be
it's pretty comfortable. Yeah. I wonder what kind of couch is that? Yeah. So I mean, you're probably right. I probably will get some messages, but
he chose it for a specific reason.
Yeah, that couch is if that couch could talk, I mean, it's but the couch gets clean. It gets clean often. It gets clean often. There's this one time though. There's one time I sprayed it down like accidentally, and my dad was coming the next weekend, and I couldn't get it clean and fast enough. So I had to have my dad sleep upstairs in my bed, and then I had to sleep on the couch because I couldn't have my dad like rolling his face around in dried up kids and shit like that. See now I'm potting. Now I'm potting. Now I'm potting, and girls are out there rolling their eyes right now. Or am I? They're gonna be mad.
Natalie said, "Great balcony."
Balcony too. Have you and Natalie?
Patty, chill. Patty, chill.
Is this the same place I've been to, or is it a different place?
Yeah, this is the same place you've been to.
Okay.
Chill, Patty. Chill. No, I don't know if you've been here. I don't think you've been here. Yeah, no, you've never been here. You've never been here. Wait, no. No, because when I dropped off those sunnies, it was around the corner from my spot.
No, but I came to your crib one time. It's in what's that street?
No, I've been here for 5.
But okay.
Yeah, so I've been here for 5.
Not by the golf course.
No, I don't live there anymore. I don't live there.
Okay.
I don't live in those condos anymore. But I do have a great balcony. It overlooks the pool.
Jojo said, fun fact, me and KP are neighbors before. Me and KP were neighbors before we even knew one another.
Yep. Neighbors.
So she used to see you running them in.
No. No, she was in a different complex. She's in a different complex. Damn, great balcony. She is right though. It was a great balcony.
He said, I can't take you to Paris, but
yeah, we
can
balcony like this.
The pool.
The Titanic, but like this.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Oh man. She probably gonna say something crazy. We might want to get off here. No, but that's I do have a great balcony though. Seriously.
And couch.
Yeah. The couch.
Kadriana, you ever
He's been fed to the couch.
Have you ever been over to a guy's crib multiple times and never been to his bedroom?
No. No. That's not a thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a thing for sure. That's why you get fed to the couch.
No, that's never happened. I've always seen their rooms.
Well, yeah, you probably seen their rooms. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you ain't
seeing it is different.
Yeah, yeah, seeing it and getting smacked in it is two totally different things.
Bedroom, couch, kitchen, yeah. I've never been to a guy's house that would not let me in his room, or we didn't do anything in his room.
So the dude that you just said was saying that to you, y'all eventually moved to the bedroom.
So no, we usually would do it in the bedroom, and then now you're making me think, because around this time it was February 15th. And so now I'm like, why weren't we going upstairs?
Wait, of this year?
No.
Oh, okay.
But now I'm over here like, wait.
It's not necessarily like it doesn't mean, it just means, and by
it went down where it went down. Like
yeah.
I know, but like now, because that was the first time we did it on the couch, and now I'm thinking, well, why didn't we do it in the bedroom? And it was so close to Valentine's Day, and now my head's just like, wait a second.
I mean, me personally, I think, I'm not saying that bed sex isn't hot, but couch sex, I think, is hot. I think, if you can do some sexier things on a couch, and
you got props.
Yeah, you got props and shit like that. But on the flip side, and I'm not saying that this is my thought process, but on the flip side, some men may not just want to take that female upstairs. They aren't worthy of that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have not subscribed to the wife package. You subscribed to the couch package.
Bed sex is reserved for like girlfriend type girls for some guys.
I didn't say that.
I'm saying
again.
That. I'm saying
why wouldn't a woman be worthy to go to the bedroom, into the bed?
Because there's some women that there's women that you have not put that much effort into.
Yeah, but what's
I
a
agree
bed?
with that.
What's a bed though?
It's just easy.
That's for personal space.
Yeah, it's. I think for some men, again, I'm not speaking
There
for
be some
myself.
men.
For some men, I think if I'm not feeling that female, then the intimacy that a bedroom comes with, it's not. I'd rather be that with someone that I'm truly probably into comparatively just cracking.
Right, because there's three different types, right? There's women you will have intimacy with on the couch. Don't get to see the bedroom.
Never. It's always on the couch with those women.
Right. There's women who immediately go from front door to bedroom because they
Facts.
have acquired that status.
Oh my God.
There's women who will start on the couch and you take them to the bedroom.
And what qualifies for that status? You change your mind mid stroke.
Some happens mid experience where you said, you know what, you have been up. It's like when you're on an airplane, right? And they say, you know what, you sit in the economy.
It's like you're in the
craziness.
It's like you're in the
first class.
No, it's like you're on the standby list, and then you get bumped up to the regular seat.
Oh my goodness! You guys hear how crazy this sounds?
You sitting in the economy, and they say, "Hey, sir, do you want to sit in the exit row?" Yes, I do want to sit in the exit row. You get upgraded mid-flight to exit row.
Oh my gosh!
So you could have started as woman A, and you did something during the experience where he was like, you know what? Upgrade.
Now, can you get demoted? Can you start at the bedroom?
Oh, for sure. For sure. For sure. That's when you find somebody else. That's when you. I know.
What upgrades you? No, it's not that, because you may not have even gotten that far at that point. It's and I remember I was having this conversation with somebody else one time when we were talking about Angelina Jolie, right? And Angelina Jolie exudes a certain type of energy. Mm-hmm. Granted, she's gone through what she's gone through in her life, especially the last few years, whatever, but she exudes a certain type of energy, right? If you're kind of shy and the experience starts, things start picking up steam, and you just come out of your shell and you start exuding a different type of energy, you might can go from economy to first class based on the energy and what the experience is doing. Like, it's not hard, but but what I do think is that it comes with a level of comfortability. It comes with a level of confidence. And I think that on, if it's like a first night or a second night, a lot of women don't have that confidence to really kind of get out of their shell a little bit.
Now, if you walk in the door and she's going straight upstairs, okay. Now, if you walk in and then you go straight to the couch, feed me, feed me.
It's like for instance, like let's say y'all going to the club, right? Let's say you going to the club. Kadriana, let's say you out with like three of your girls, three of your finest girls, four of y'all go to a club. Now you can walk straight to the front door, or you can go get in line. It's the same mentality, right? Like some women will walk in your crib and go straight to the bedroom because they know they belong there. Those are the type of women who will go up to a club and walk straight to the front door and say, "Hey, I'm here. I got 3 more with me," and get let in. But there's other women who come in, put their purse down, take their shoes off, sit on the couch, put a movie on. Because those are the same women who will go and get in line.
This is news to me because I didn't even know that the bedroom was not an option. Like,
it's not, for me, it's not necessarily not an option. It just depends on who it is.
Because if I was a woman and I was coming to your place and we were going to do stuff, I'm going straight to the bedroom because I wouldn't even think to go to the couch. Not first time. That's like when you've been together for a while and you're switching it up. I didn't even.
This is a new demographic we're dealing with in 2025. Yeah. I mean, some women will play that, and I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but some women will play that. Oh, I'm not going up to your room. Don't expect me to go up to your room. Okay.
Because it's presumptuous. If we go up there, it's guaranteed that certain things are going to happen. But if I stay down here, there's a lot of different things in play.
I love when a woman says, "I'm not going upstairs to your room." Okay.
Because they will. Anytime a woman says that,
my God, just feed me. I'm like, okay.
See, I won't even go to a guy's house unless we're at that point to where we're already there.
Oh man!
Because if I go to your house, it's to be assumed we're probably going to be intimate.
Oh well, yeah.
But
not always.
But where?
Yeah.
In the room. Now, especially knowing what I know now, we're definitely always going to the bedroom. The couch isn't even going to be
Kadriana gonna meet a dude next week, and he gonna be like, well, "You want to come over?" She gonna be like, "Where are we going?"
I just where's your room?
If you come over, we can watch a movie. Nah, I'm gonna go straight to the bedroom.
We're watching TV in
straight
bed.
to the bedroom type of girl.
Nah,
type of girl.
Then if he says I'm a gentleman, I'd rather watch the movie on the couch. You have to respect that.
And I'll respect it, but I'm not having sex on the couch now. We're not.
But you get started. You get started there.
Yeah, you get started. That's what I'm saying. You don't know what.
You guys ruin this for every guy that I'm not going to the couch. No.
But even if you're coming over for dinner, I'm making you dinner. We watch a movie. You can still get fed to the couch and then get fed upstairs.
No, I want to start upstairs and then go to the couch. No. I don't want to say it sounds bad. We're going to bed. I'm a bedroom girl.
I think we made Kadriana a little bit bougie.
Yeah, because now I know the secrets. No more couches. And we're getting fed.
She said no more couches.
Shit, it's probably gonna be no more couches for me.
I didn't know there was an upgraded plan that I could have.
It's probably gonna be no more couches for me either.
No. Ladies, if you're listening, don't do it on the couch.
Ladies.
No.
If I get you there, it's going down wherever.
No, it's not. You make them stop.
Remember, these are mold. These are mold.
If a woman says stop, wait, not here. Let's go upstairs. But she has not qualified for the upstairs package. What's the response?
And she's ready? You said she's ready?
Qualified.
Ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going upstairs. She's going upstairs.
But you don't really like her like that. We going to the upper room.
we going upstairs. If she's coming over to my crib inside, and if we've kissed and she's telling me let's go upstairs, and I'm attracted enough for her to invite her in and to make out with her, she's going upstairs to get cracked for sure.
Even if you don't like her like that.
Like if I don't like her, like she should get the bedroom package,
right?
Yeah, for sure. But
that's the exception to the package.
But guess what? That subscription the bedroom package subscription will probably end after that first time, and then the next time it's gonna be like it's gonna be feed me.
What if she wants to stay the night? You don't even really like her. You go to the bedroom. You're gonna let her stay the night? You gonna give her the full treatment?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna give the full solution for sure.
Oh,
if she wants to stay the night, I'm for sure. Like, there's been times when I ain't gonna hold you. Fans, I always keep it a bean. There's been times when there's been girls that I was talking to that wanted to spend the night. And I was like, damn. I was laying in bed like this. like this, looking at my watch. Like, seeing what time it was, if it was morning yet. Just so I can. There's been times when I've set the alarm. I set the alarm on purpose. And they know it's time to go.
You kick them out like that?
I don't kick them out. I would never do that.
Okay.
I don't kick anyone out. I think that's I suggest.
He say, so what you about to do?
Yeah. Exactly. So
what you got going on today? Yeah,
what you got going on today? What you got going on today? That's the universal sound for you. You need to leave.
Yeah.
What you got going on today? What you doing today? Some women don't catch their hands. Some women are chill.
They be like, I ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go hoop. We usually hoop at about 9:00, so I'm gonna go hoop.
Yeah.
Can I go with you?
Nah. Hey, there's been times in my past where, like, I did the whole, like, I said I had something to do. I went, got in my car, drove around the block so she could leave, and I turned right, came right back to the crib just to get her out. No joke. And then I took a shower and I was like, but then I was cool after that.
I remember one time I went back to Chicago. I was staying with one of my buddies from college, and we went out that night, and he brought a chick back to the crib, and he had a 2-bedroom, and the 1-bedroom, him and her was in another bedroom, and they did whatever they was gonna do. And then in the morning, I remember I came out, and the girl was making a sandwich.
Yeah, man.
And she said, "Hey, can you text your friend and ask him if it's okay if I make a sandwich?" I said, "Yeah, I could text him." So I text him. I said, "Hey, such and such is asking if she can make a sandwich." He goes, "She's still there?" I'm like, I say, "Yeah," and she wanted a sandwich. He was like, can you get her to leave? I'm like, I could try. I say, yeah. He said, you can make a sandwich. What you got going on today? She's like, oh, I got some stuff I got to do. But I said, oh, okay, that's cool. But he was like, he literally left in the morning. And he was like, she's still there?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, she gonna stay till you tell her to go home.
Sometimes you just gotta know when to leave. First thing in the morning is best.
Yes.
Unless you are on that level with someone. Now, if it's a girl I'm dating, that's totally different. If it's a girl that I'm exclusive with, that's totally different. But if it's a girl that I'm just having sex with, man, you gotta go first thing in the. If you stay the night, you gotta go the first thing in the morning. No later than 7 a.m. No later. You don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here. you gotta go.
I feel like, and Kadriana, this is where we're gonna pull you into the conversation. I feel like dudes don't linger. When it's the morning, dudes get up, we out.
I try to be out before they wake up.
I wish every guy thought like that, but no. Guys do the same thing, or because I like to go. I like to go home. I don't really like even sleeping at people's houses. And I've had guys like, you don't want to have coffee? You don't know. I just want to go home.
So the only reason why I'll stick around a little bit is to get one last one off and then leave. Otherwise, I'm out of there. You hear the roosters.
If you spend the night.
Yeah, if I spend the night, I'm out when the rooster's up.
Same here. Unless we're dating exclusively, no.
Yeah, same. You gotta go.
Yeah, 7 o'clock. I think that should be like the universal. 7 a.m. You need to go home.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Shower. You don't have to do all that.
Take a shower? What? Ain't nobody taking a shower that we're not dating. You going with you going home with dried up jizz on your pants and everything.
The walk of shame. That's what we call it in college. You do the walk of shame. Put lots of nice clothes on, and you go.
Yeah. If you're lucky, you may get a pair of shorts or like a t-shirt or something like that. If you're lucky.
That's how I lost a lot of my shorts.
Otherwise,
hoodies.
Sometimes I like to. Sometimes back in the day, I used to like to just like come on a girl's pants, so when she walked home in the morning.
That's so foul.
Okay, I'm fine. I take that back.
I'm fine.
Oh my God.
No, I had a guy friend and he used to say shit like that. He would purposely go in their hair on purpose because he's like, now you gotta wash your hair. Like don't do that.
No, I'm just joking.
But he wouldn't let them wash their hair at his place.
No, and he said he would do it on purpose. And I was like, why? He's just like,
So I think this is a question for next time, but I really want to know your thoughts on this for next time. Because, I know it's been a minute since we've been on here, but are you okay with, and I don't want you to answer, are you okay with dudes not kissing you after you give head? Think about it, marinate it. And I think there's more to the conversation that I want to bring to it because I think there's different levels of that. So,
because this can go both ways.
Yeah. I'm going to explain the levels, but I want us to come back to this next week. I think that there's one level where the girl is giving you head and she's like blowing snot bubbles down there. and then she comes up to kiss you. Then there's another level where she's just giving you head a little bit and then she comes up to kiss you. Then there's the cum, you come in their mouth and then she tries to kiss you. I know how I feel about it. So I'm looking forward to hearing how you.
He switched it from most men to me, real.
Yeah. So I want to know that answer next week if we could reconvene on that answer.
We can reconvene on that. I feel
Got
like
a week to marinate on that one.
I feel like we need to get JoJo on. Yeah.
Yes, we'll get JoJo on this one. That's a good question.
JoJo probably asleep right now.
No, it's what, 10 o'clock? It's 10 o'clock.
11:30. It's 11:30.
Oh yeah, she's in Georgia.
Yeah, it's 3 hours from here.
All right, maybe we can get JoJo in because I feel like she got some stories to tell. Crew.
This might be a record.
Two and a half hours. Kadriana, what you got for the people?
Thank you everyone that tuned in tonight. It was another great episode. I missed you guys, so it was good to be back together again. And shout out to everybody that chimed in the chat. We appreciate you. We love you. You guys keep this interesting, and tune in next week.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Bring us the tears. We're back.
I'm gonna say I'm also gonna say, thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe. If you've tuned in for this long, thank you. Jordan, Megan, Patty Cakes, Geneva, Felix, Terry, thank you so much for chiming in on the chat. Appreciate you. If anyone I missed, thank you for chiming in today. Appreciate you for tuning in every single week. For those ladies that are mad at me or irritated at me because of things that I say on this podcast, I'm sorry, boo-boo. You're just gonna have to get over it because there's more to come. There's more to come. It was good seeing you guys back. And I look forward to next week. And please like, subscribe. Please follow. If you don't like what I have to say, continue watching. Please tell a friend. Tell them to tell two friends. Please. All right. I'm glad that I'm evoking some kind of emotions out of people. I love it. I love it.
Oh man, I just want to reiterate what both my co-hosts said. We love everybody who came and spent their Wednesday night with us, top to bottom. We love everybody who takes the time out to comment, to go back and forth in the chat. That's what makes this show go forward. That's what makes this show great, is the participation from you guys. Otherwise, we would just all be talking to ourselves, and that's not as much fun, right? So we love the participation from everybody in the chat. We love you guys. Thank you so much. We love everybody who has subscribed. Continue to share, continue to like, continue to subscribe, tell a friend to tell another friend to tell two friends. We out here. We're on all platforms. You can catch the Cabrini Kid podcast everywhere. There's nowhere that we aren't, and you can listen to us whenever you get ready to. So we appreciate everybody who hung out with us tonight. Much love to, like I said, my co-host. But we're gonna keep pushing it forward. We're gonna keep having more topics, more guests. We got also some more exciting news coming up. Next time, make sure you guys call in to the number. We had our first call in 2 weeks ago. We loved it. It was great. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us. So we love everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is episode 31. Imagine when we get to 50. Imagine when we get to 100, 500. We're not going away. Y'all gonna have to listen to us at some point, so you might as well start listening to us now. We out.
Peace.